Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, and if you read the title you probably know that I just picked up some new impact sockets. So it's something I've been thinking about getting for a long time. After tearing apart an entire car, I realized it would have been a lot faster and a lot easier had I had impacts and sockets that I could have used. Unfortunately I have a 1/2 inch impact and those sockets just didn't fit in most places, so I recently got a 3/8 inch impact and I picked up a new set of sockets. So I have been looking for a couple of months for a good set of a kind of a complete set of sockets that I wanted to get. And when I saw that Tecton, since if you've seen my other videos, you know that all of my sockets that I have currently are Tecton. I saw that in January they were going to be releasing their new 3/8 impact sockets. So I've held off until then, and they just recently released them this week. And when I saw them, I was excited, but also I chose to go a different route, and I'll show you which set I went with and why I went with those. So after quite a bit of research, I ended up going with the Sunex 3580 set, and it's their 80-piece SAE and metric master set. And the reason I went with this over the Tecton is I know the quality of Tecton is great. I know the quality of this is going to be very similar. And I'm not worried about breaking anything. If I do, they both have lifetime warranties anyways. But my reason for going with this is it's priced at the exact same price as Tecton, and it comes with the universal sockets that were a big plus for me, along with some T sockets and some of the external star bits also. And it just felt like more of a complete set for what I was really needing. It doesn't go as far in range. It doesn't have as small a sockets as the Tecton kits come with, or as big, but the amount of time I'm going to use those sockets, I figured it would be cheaper to buy those individually than to have to go out and buy a full set of universal sockets and then a full set of Torx. And so this just fit a little bit more than what was going to come with the Tecton set for me. So I know one of the biggest complaints that I've seen on this is actually with the case, and the Tecton stuff has great cases, and I can already tell just by moving this around that complaint is justified. Haven't opened it yet, but I have a feeling they're going to be everywhere when I do. So let's get this open and check it out. Pretty nice blow molded case, very similar to a lot of the Tecton, but I can feel that it's just not as sturdy. And we were right. Sockets all over the place. Now this is something that I'm not too concerned with because I don't plan on keeping these sockets in this case anyways. This case will be for transportation uses whenever I do decide to do that, which is going to be pretty rare. So let's just get these things all sorted back and then we'll look through them. All right, so got everything put back in place, and I gotta say, these things are absolutely covered in oil. I'm sure that's so there's no corrosion or anything that happens during shipping or however long they're held in storage, but they're absolutely covered in oil, and I mean, not a big deal. I mean, you can wipe it off pretty easily. They are very nice. So on the metric deeps, we got 8 all the way to 19. And SAE, we got 5/16 all the way to 3/4. And then you have the same on the shallow sockets. On the Torx, we've got the T 20, 25, 27, 30, 40, 45, 47, 50, and 55. Then you've got the E 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, and 16. So a pretty good setup there. For extensions, you've got your 3-inch extension, your 5-inch, your 10-inch, and 15-inch, along with this universal adapter. And then on the universal sockets, you've got your 3/8 to 3/4 on the SAE, and your 10 to 19 on the metric. So one thing I'm not real happy about on these sockets, but I knew that going into it already, is the marking is pretty small compared to a lot of others. It's laser etched. When roll it over to the back side, it is stamped, so if that etching does wear off, but it is very small and not something that's really easy to see. Plus, so the box is marked, but on a lot of these you can't really see the marking until you get right above, because there's so much deeper in there. Because none of these sockets actually sit down in the case, they just sit in the little grooves. They don't latch in, so they're pretty high up in the plastic. But again, that's pretty small things to complain about. My plan for where I'm going to store these sockets, instead of being in this case, because I know every time I shut that lid, they're just going to go all over the place again, is I'm going to put them right next to where my 3/8 chromes are. I left this spot here so I can fit all the impacts, because I don't plan on moving them very often, and it just makes it really easy to find what I need, and if I'm missing something, I know exactly what I'm missing too. One other thing I want to add to about this set is I have seen some complaints of people receiving duplicate sockets and then missing one. So for example, they may have two 11mm shallow sockets, but they might be missing the 10 or the 12. So if you do get this set, be sure that the markings on every single socket match up with what you're supposed to receive. Also, this video isn't to tell you, oh, hey, the Sunex impact sockets are the best ones that you can go get for 200 bucks. This was the best set that I could have bought at the time for my current application, for the money. And as much as I love the Tekton sets, it didn't cover the range that I needed. It covered more than I needed. I think the Tekton goes up to like 24mm. If I'm going to use a 24mm, I have my 1/2" impact to use that with. And it went down to, I think, 6. Again, I'm probably not going to use my 3/8 impact on a 6mm bolt, because I'd be more worried about shearing it off. So that was just my personal reason for going with this set instead. So again, don't take this as, oh, this is the one you have to buy. Buy whatever fits your application, because these tools aren't cheap. Even when you go with bargain tools or cheaper tools, they're still not cheap when you're talking about an entire garage of tools. So buy what you need, buy what you want to buy, and don't let anyone tell you that your decision is worse than someone else's. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you guys back again soon.